Welcome. Hello. I am the American Latino. Thank you for joining. So, we're going to start off this live with a couple topics. We'll see how the show goes. Got some topics we're going to read off, we're going to touch base on. And then you guys can let me know if it works or if you want to stick to one topic. We'll see how it goes. You can see my background here. They were all killed for speaking words. Just words. So how you guys like my my luchador mask, huh? All right, so let's get this going. So who am I? I am the American Latino, the internet's most base Latino. You'll find out as we get going. So first topic we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the Schumer shit down, aka the $1.2 trillion proposal to give illegal aliens insane amount of money for healthcare. All right. Personally, I think it's absolute bullshit. So, what is going on? Well, you've got Chuck Schumer, the Democrats, apparently proposing, I haven't looked at the actual story yet, but apparently they're proposing $1.2 trillion to go to illegal immigrants. That is some bullshit. Sorry. Again, I haven't looked at the actual story, but just the fact that they even want to do that just blows my mind. And it should blow all of your minds. If you're an American citizen, 1.2 trillion, even a billion, even $1 given to non-Americans for healthcare, otherwise the government's going to shut down, is total bullshit. Ridiculous. And anyone that supports that, sorry, you can get the fuck out right now. So I don't know how this TikTok thing works. We'll see about the community guidelines. I'm probably going to break like several. They'll probably shut down the live. We'll see. We'll keep it going though. We'll see what happens. Not too sure. But the second topic I want to talk about is this guy right here. So it's been a wild week. We had Charlie Kirk assassination, and a whole bunch of other crazy shit has happened this week. And, I just want to talk a little bit about that. So if you don't know, let's put this over here. If you don't know what happened, if you're totally clueless, first of all, you're a fucking moron, and you call yourself an American, well, don't be a fucking idiot. Basically, somebody was gunned down in cold blood simply for speaking their opinion. That's not the way that this works in America. You see, you're allowed to speak your opinion. And if you don't agree with that, again, get the fuck out. It's very simple, right? If you don't agree that you should be able to speak your opinion, there's the door. It's very simple. And anyone that says that you shouldn't do that, well, they're fucking idiots. So we'll just say that. Then on top of that, which is a tragedy, I feel so bad for his kids now have to grow up without a family or a father. The family's shattered. His wife has to, continue on without him. All because some sick fuck decided, well, I don't like what he says, so I'm going to put a bullet in his neck. Simply for the fact that I disagree with what he says. Again, that's total bullshit. And if you think that's cool, if you think that's something to promote, and you're all about that, you can get the fuck out of my country, right? That's just stupid. And so you've got, that really was like a spark at the straw that broke the camel's back. Before that, you had that poor girl in, I think it was Minnesota. I can't remember, Missouri. I think it was Minnesota. No, not Minnesota. I don't know. Her name was Irina Zarutska. She was a refugee from Ukraine. So she leaves war-torn Ukraine, comes to America, and gets murdered on a subway. Or I think it was subway. By some moron, mentally ill piece of shit who, for no other reason, as far as we can tell, other than I want to kill white people, decided that it would be cool to stand up in the back of this subway and start stabbing this poor girl in the neck. And no one did a damn thing. Here's the worst part. This is the part that makes me so angry. Nobody did a damn thing. Hey, what's up, Panos? Thanks for joining. Nobody did a damn thing. Not one single person there stood up and said, "Are you okay? What's going on?" I mean, if you watch the video is horrifying. But if you watch the video, you can see that within probably 5 to 10 seconds, she loses consciousness, falls over, and there's a shit ton of blood coming out. Nobody does a damn thing. What would I have done? Very simple. And this is what I propose to all red-blooded Americans. If you are not walking around today's streets with an ankle medical kit that has a chest seal, that has combat gauze, that has Z-gauze, Z-fold gauze, some sort of hemostatic agent, you are fucking wrong. Period. There is no more, I don't want to carry medical on me. I'm too cool for that. It weighs too much. There's too much crap in my pockets. Those days are over. Get an ankle medical kit. Get a pocket medical kit. A bunch of companies make them. Live the Creed makes really good pocket kit. They also make a really good ankle kit. Get some knowledge on how to fucking treat stab wounds, gunshot wounds, broken bones. Everybody in America is all about, let me carry a gun, let me carry a knife for protection. Listen, that's all well and good. I am all about the Second Amendment, trust me. I'm all about everyone should be able to protect themselves with the best tools possible. However, you are more likely to encounter a medical situation, far more likely. I mean, think about how many car wrecks happen in the U.S. in the U.S. Think about how many just pure accidents happen in the U.S. And then I know somebody's going to hit me with the, "Oh, well, you shouldn't help them because they might sue you, or somebody might civilly sue you for helping them. Somebody might civilly sue you for trying to save their life." If your priority is somebody's going to sue me because I attempted to save their life, you are fucking wrong. And show me a case where that has happened. Show it to me. You can't, because it hasn't. So what would I have done? Very simple. I sure as shit would not have continued to stare at my phone and ignored the fact that some piece of shit just stood up at the back of a subway and started stabbing somebody. Then is walking around the car train with the knife in hand, the murder weapon in hand, dripping blood all over the place, saying, "I got that white bitch. I got that white bitch." I mean, there is no more clear-cut evidence that this guy is just a piece of shit, deranged murderer. And what's horrifying is, if you go back on my page, I posted about it. This asshole might actually get off on a mentally ill defense. He's, right now, I think he was arrested 14 times, let go every single time. And first of all, that's a problem. These judges need to impose seriously harsh penalties and keep these deranged murderers in jail. Why is that? How is that a thing that these assholes are letting these people out so they can go continue to commit crime, take people's lives, and then they get off on a technicality that they're crazy? Look, I understand that there's a big issue with mental illness in the country, but not everything is about mental illness. It really just sometimes is that fucking people are evil, straight up. And a lot of people just don't want to, talk about it. But yeah, there are just evil people that just want to kill other people. If you're of the mindset that you think, Charlie Kirk right here, if you think that there are Jesus here and MLK over here, they all preached love thy neighbor, which is what the Bible preaches. And I agree with that. But I also am not stupid and naive to think that there are not evil people out there. There are definitely evil people. You want to see evil people? Look anywhere in the Middle East. First of all, that's one place that's really got a lot of fucking evil people. And we could debate on that. You could debate me out, on that, and I'll be happy to debate anybody on that, because there are some horrendously evil people all around the world, not just the Middle East. But I just give that example. Here's another example. Yesterday, if you saw, there was a bunch of videos going around because Christians in Nigeria were being slaughtered by the hundreds. And whether you are religious or not, that's your prerogative. But the fact remains, nobody should be killing anybody, right? In any part of the world. I don't give a shit if it's a third world country, or if it's right here in the U.S. Nobody should be going around killing anybody, taking lives. That's not for them to do. That is for God to do. And to think that this poor girl just sat there, leaving a war-torn country, Russia and Ukraine at war, leaves Ukraine to come to America, the beacon of light, right, in the world, and gets murdered by a piece of shit that's been let out of jail 14 times. How? How does that happen? Well, I'll tell you how it happens. Voting matters. Guys, I know you're just a singular person, right? And you're like, why should I vote? It's bullshit. It doesn't do anything. Trust me, it matters, because these judges get instilled by people that we elect to represent us. If you're not familiar with how our constitutional republic works, we, the people, elect other people to speak for us. And when we elect people like presidents, they put in and instill judges that are hopefully constitutional judges. The problem is that for every single time, and I'm not just going to say it's just Democrats, because Republicans are guilty of it too, instilling shitty judges that do not stick to the Constitution, that have their own prerogative, that decide, I don't give a damn about the Constitution. I'm just going to do what I want because I don't want an angry mob attacking me. If you're afraid that an angry mob is going to attack you, you are on the wrong side of history, period. Fuck the mob, okay? The mob is what killed him, all right? That mentality is what killed him, okay? And again, that mentality is what killed him. All three of them were killed by angry mobs. And there is no place for that in this country. There really is no place for that in the world. It's complete bullshit. And it really saddens me to think that we are I am in the freest country on earth. And you can't go into a subway. You can't ride a subway without worrying about if you're going to get stabbed in the neck and killed. You can't go down, what was it? I forgot what it was. You can't go worship and pray on Sunday without worrying if somebody's going to drive a truck into the front of your church, smash the doors open, have IEDs in the vehicle, and then start randomly shooting everybody. What fucking place are we living in? It's horrible that you have to think nowadays that this is the way it is. It was never really like this. The tension that's building in this country is at an insane level. It seems to only be getting worse, which frightens me. It should frighten you too. So here, I just want to make sure we stay on topic. So like I said, as I do more lives, You guys can let me know in the comments, and I'll repost the live so that you can view them after in case you didn't see them live. But you can let me know. We'll change the format around. I'll have it so that I can pull up clips and you can see the clips that I'm talking about, and provided that it doesn't get me banned off of TikTok. I don't really give. Obviously, I'm going to try and follow the terms of services as closely as I can, but I'm also on other platforms. Go follow me on X. Go follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, the whole nine, Parlor. I'm on all of them. But anyway, so I say all that to bring it around to two other topics that I want to discuss. So we're talking about violence, right? Just random acts of violence, how you should be prepared. All you women, okay, all of you women out there, if you live in America, please go get a gun. Now, I know that my stream might get shut down for saying that, but I say that because it is the great equalizer. It is the one thing that can stand up to somebody with a knife. It is the one thing that can stand up to a maniac that's going out and just randomly trying to take lives. It's the one thing that will make sure that you yourself can protect your life and the life of your loved ones. And it's not something that requires a lifelong training process like a martial art does. And listen, I'm just going to say it because a lot of people are scared to say it, but if you are a woman and you think that you can take some sort of martial art, Krav Maga, whatever the hell, and you think you're going to beat up a 280-pound crackhead who is determined to kill you, you're not. That's a false sense of security. It's not going to happen. And even owning a gun can be a false sense of security. You really got to train with it and get proficient with it. But that's simple. You just take a bunch of classes. You go to the range every week. You shoot some ammo, and you make sure that you're proficient and you don't lose those skills. So I say all that because had anybody on that train had something to stop that asshole, then they would have had the ability to do so. But aside from that, no one was paying attention. So everyone was on their phone, farting around, doing God knows what. In one of the clips that I saw, somebody was so scared to even look over that they buried their head in their phone. Meanwhile, this poor girl's bleeding out. So, you know, it's crazy what's going on. But I also want to bring it around to Antifa, Portland, what happened yesterday at the ICE detention facility. If you didn't see it, there's a bunch of clips going around. I go on my page, I posted it. Something like 200, 300 peaceful protesters were there, and ICE was essentially driving them back. They were trying to protest, illegal immigration. They were trying to protest letting any of the vehicles come in and bring deportees to be processed and sent out. Well, that's bullshit. They're designated a terrorist organization for a reason. And that's because they're committing terror. Like, it's not hard. And then you had I'm sorry, I'm so sick and tired of strongly worded letters. You had Attorney General Pam Bondi, who needs to be fucking fired yesterday, go out and have a strongly worded letter saying something to the effect of, our federal agents are going to use the full force of the law to come down and crack down on these terrorists. Okay, what does that even mean? Because so far, the only stuff that I've seen is agents getting driven back, people getting pushed back. The agents aren't really doing anything. They're shooting people with pepper balls. No one's being arrested. No one's being prosecuted. Every single person that was there should be arrested and prosecuted. The fact that nobody is being arrested and prosecuted, and if they are, we're not hearing about it. They're not reporting it in the news, in any of the news, even the independent media. So it's ridiculous. All of those motherfuckers should have been arrested. The fact that none of them got arrested just blows my mind. So, that's another problem, is that these cops are too afraid to arrest people because you've got idiot Pam Bondi going out there saying that we're gonna back our officers. Okay, well, here's another incident. I didn't post it because I wanted to wait until all the information came out, but an ICE agent was they were trying to break up a family, a legal family, because the guy was illegal and they were trying to deport him. And the mother of the family put hands on the ICE agent, and the agent basically kind of, was like, adios, adios, pushing her, telling her to get the hell out of the building. She wasn't moving. She was being hysterical. She was being ridiculous. And he tripped, right? So he pushes her. He's trying to escort her out. They hit up against the wall. And anyone with a brain that saw the video saw that she tripped. Reed, thanks for joining. Why the mask? Because I am the American Latino, right? Luchador, America. So I'm not doing a face reveal yet. I will when I get to 100K followers, subscribers. I know it's a very high number, and to put it on now, some people are going to call bullshit, but it's something that I wanted to try. It's something that I wanted to do, and I'm just going to stick with it. And when we get to 100K, I'll do a face reveal. I am not afraid to show my face. A lot of people, like I was just talking about, bring it back to Antifa, to the Portland incident. A lot of people are afraid to show their face, right? Because people are getting shot. People are getting killed. People are getting harassed. They're getting doxxed. If you haven't heard, they're getting concrete milkshakes. What is a concrete milkshake? It's literally a soda cup filled with concrete, and then that gets thrown at your head for simply disagreeing with somebody or speaking the truth or speaking your opinion, which, you speak your opinion. Oh my God, you can't do that. So anyway, I want to bring it around back to Antifa. And let's just talk about Antifa. They all wear masks, right? So fuck them. They all wear masks. Their whole concept is that because they all dress in black, because they all wear masks, they can't be prosecuted. Well, ma'am, did you know that it was that person? Do you have their DNA? No. Well, can you be 100% sure that it was that person, even though they were wearing all black and they were all masked up? No. Okay, well, there you go. Grand jury can't indict. So, that's their concept of fight fascism, is to basically run around masked up as black bloc and do whatever the fuck they want. Well, that shit's ending now. But again, that's why I keep saying strongly worded letters. I'm so sick and tired of this. Okay, we're going to use the full force of the law. Great, do it. Arrest all those assholes. Round them all up, throw them in the paddy wagon, and take them down to jail. Why is that so hard? It's so hard because you have guys like the ICE agent who was simply escorting somebody out, and then she fell. She tripped on her own feet. And everyone's saying, oh, he pushed her down, he tried to hurt her. Bullshit, go watch the video. He was literally escorting her out, and she tripped over her own feet, and that's what happened. That's the real. And he was put on a 48-hour suspension. First of all, why is he getting put on a suspension? He should be praised for doing his damn job, not castigated because this idiot fell over. It wasn't his fault that she fell over. She's walking backwards, and he's trying to escort her out. Was it a little aggressive? Maybe a little bit, but she put hands on him, number one. Number two, they literally for 40 minutes were trying to get this family apart and get the guy who's illegal out and get the family out of the building because they didn't need to be there anymore. So why was the letter put out in the first place? Oh, well, we retracted it. 48 hours later, this agent's back on duty. Why was he taken off duty in the first place for doing his job? Basically, the message that was sent is that if you do your job, if you're an ICE agent, if you're any federal law enforcement, if you do your actual job, we're not going to get your back. Sorry. The news media said it's racist. The news media said, oh my God, it's beating a woman. If the optics look bad, sorry, buddy, you're on your own. Until the base starts to get mouthy, and once the base gets mouthy enough, then we'll reinstate them. If they get mouthy enough. Which is total bullshit. I mean, that's just total bullshit. I'm sorry, Pam Bondi needs to be fired. I used to love Pam Bondi, when she was back in as a Florida Attorney General, a lot of people will say, no, she didn't do a very good job then. She enacted a bunch of gun laws or some shit. I looked at her history, and some things I disagreed with, but overall, I liked the game that she talked. And that's the problem, is that a lot of these people talk a good game, but when it really comes down to it, they don't actually do shit. They write strongly worded letters, which does absolutely nothing. It really does nothing. We're going to use the full force, the full weight of the federal government's going to come down on you. Okay. And do what? Because we're not arresting people. They're not getting arrested. So, it's ridiculous. So I think are we at a half hour now? I don't know how to work this thing. Like, I have no clue how to pull anything up. This is the first live that I'm doing. So like I said, we'll get better at this as time goes on. But I just wanted to talk about a few things because I think we're headed in a horrible direction as a country. And if you're a patriot, if you are a American, please stop being pussy. Speak up. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your neighbors. Stand up for other people like you. And in most cases, as long as they're not, deranged, crazy psychos, stand up for people that disagree with you. That's why we have the First Amendment, is so that people can speak their mind, so that people can say their opinions, they can express their opinions. Pam Bondi said, when she walked it back, she had to, obviously, because it's complete bullshit, but she said, hate speech, if you spew hate speech, the federal law enforcement's gonna come after you, and we're gonna come down hard. Dude, like, that is a violation of every American's First Amendment right. Like, I'm sorry, but you may dislike it, you may disagree with it, but there is no such thing as hate speech. Oh, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. That's bullshit. There's incitement to violence. Yeah, that's different. If you're inciting a mob to violence like Antifa was doing in Portland the other day, if you're inciting a mob to violence, then yeah, that's a call to action. That's not covered under free speech. But if you're saying horrible, derogatory things against people, that is covered. Sorry. If, for example, you're a Nazi and you're spewing ridiculously hateful shit like Richard Spencer, sorry, that's covered. I know you may disagree with it, but sorry, it's covered. So Pam Bondi saying that we're going to come after you because you said stuff we don't like. Man, no, that's terrible. That cannot happen in this country, because as soon as that happens, as soon as that domino falls, all the other ones will fall, because now you've silenced dissent. And once you've silenced dissent, you're basically a communist at that point, right? Because that's what all the communists did. If you don't know history, that's the problem, is that a lot of these schools nowadays are teaching complete bullshit. Like, they're not teaching history accurately. They're teaching histrionics. They're changing the history to say that socialism and Marxism is a good thing. Socialism and Marxism have led to the deaths of millions of people. You don't have to take my word for it. Just go read an actual history book, not one of these bullshit new age books that have been written for college students. Like, go read any book prior to 2000, and you'll see that, yeah, man, communism, Marxism has led to the deaths of hundreds of millions of people. So, for all of these college campuses to be indoctrinating our kids, and nobody's saying shit. Now people are standing. You've got, just today, I believe, Steven Crowder's going on, I forget what campus, but Steven Crowder's going on a campus and is doing Change My Mind Again. He's the guy that started it, right? Charlie is the guy who took it to a completely new level. Prove Me Wrong was Charlie's version of it. Ben Shapiro was another one going around talking on college campuses. Why? Because the youth is so important. If the youth doesn't understand and does not get a good sense of history and what is right, what is wrong, what has led to the deaths of millions of people and what hasn't, history is doomed to repeat itself. I fear that that is what is happening right now. That all these morons that are saying we're in a cultural revolution. No, the fuck we're not. No, we're not. Because if we're in a cultural revolution, right, an actual cultural revolution, people would be getting killed in the streets. I mean, you've got assassinations and, judges letting people out and they're getting killed. But we haven't seen the type of political violence like, for example, that happened in Serbia. We haven't seen the political violence that's happened in Iran or Iraq, or that's toppled governments, that's literally toppled governments. And I pray that does not happen here in the States. I see people calling for civil war. I see people calling to take up arms against other American civilians. Like, no, you don't want that. You do not want that. As cool as you might think that may be, no, you don't want that. Simply for the fact that if you've never seen actual violence, like you've never seen real actual violence in person, it's horrifying. It's horrifying. That's why when this man's death was broadcast to millions of people, right? I don't know the numbers. We don't know the numbers, but I'm assuming, I'm going to say it's probably over 100 million, maybe over 500. Over a billion. Let's just say a billion. I think it's over a billion. I think over a billion people have seen Charlie Kirk's death now at this point, the actual video of it. And a lot of people were shocked. Like, a lot of people were shocked. I've never seen that much violence. I've never seen violence like that. No shit. Because it's horrifying. And every place that can ban it will ban it because it's that shocking. And, that's why I say anyone that's calling for civil war is a fucking moron. Because they've never seen real violence in front of them. They've never seen real violence in front of them. They think it's cool. Oh, let's have a civil war. Yeah, I'm ready to take up arms. I'm going to go fight for my country. No, shut the fuck up. Like, you've never seen it firsthand. You've never seen it up close. And if you have, that is not the route that we want to go. And like I said, I pray that this country gets on the right track. Because, if we're in a period, we're definitely in a period of civil strife right now. And what precludes a civil war is civil strife. That comes first. And let's just hope that we don't get to the point where, a civil war is declared. Because as soon as civil war is actually declared, martial law gets enacted. And then that's it. You don't want without rule of law. WROL is the acronym. Without rule of law. That's basically going back to the Wild West. All right. So criminals and basically anybody that has a gun can do whatever the fuck they want because nobody's gonna do anything about it. You don't want that. All right. You don't want that. We have, as a society, have tried to better ourselves to get away from that type of living because it was so destructive. People could just come into your house, rape and kill you, steal all your stuff, and then move on to the next place. And that's not what we want. WROL is not what we want. So, and the way that's going to happen, it's very simple. Everyone's like, oh, how could that happen? How could that's never going to happen? Listen. People thought that we would never have political assassinations again. We just did. Okay? And as the temperature builds and it keeps getting worse, I fear there may be more. Hopefully there isn't. Again, pray that there isn't. But anyone that thinks that this is going to get better before it gets worse is just naive. That's just not how history works. So we need more people speaking up. If you don't have social media or you only have one thing and you've got strong opinions, it's totally okay to start a live, start talking about your opinions, start getting the word out there, become educated about stuff. Don't just turn on a camera and start talking about bullshit and just spewing nonsense opinions, right? You want to be educated about things. You want to know what the hell you're talking about. And you also want to be on the right side of history, right? Because you don't want people to look back and say, well, you were one of the reasons why people took up arms. You were one of the reasons why society was spiraling down the toilet bowl, right? You want to aid people in finding the right path, the right way, showing them the light. And that really begins by talking to people who disagree with you. And like I said, if we are stopping that, if we are not allowing people to speak, at least in America, I mean, all across the world really should. What's frightening is I just heard there was, and I might post it later on, there was a story about in the UK, some guy was, this is horrifying, some guy was posted online that he was praying, a Christian was praying, and apparently the police went and arrested him and put him in jail for going online and saying that he was praying. What is happening? Like, what? Since when was it illegal to pray or to even speak, post that you were praying? I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. It's very sad. I pray for the people of UK. I hope that they can find their way, because right now they are so fucking lost. I pray for the people in Nigeria, all the poor Christians that have been slaughtered and murdered for no reason at all. I pray for all of those people. I pray for Irina, who was innocently murdered for no reason by some mentally ill piece of shit that should have been in jail after 14 arrests, was let go, and now may get off on a technicality that he might be actually insane. I'm all for getting people who need the help to get help, right? We all should want that. But what I'm not for is career criminals, career murderers that get off the hook simply because they want to claim that they were insane. When 2 seconds after stabbing this poor girl, we can clearly hear on the tape, "I got that white bitch. I got that white bitch." Like, what? Like, that is insane that this type of person's walking around society and nobody's doing a damn thing about it. So, it's crazy. And I hope that we can find ourselves on the right path, right? So thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Wow, we had a lot of people show up. I don't know if you stayed, but if you did, I appreciate it. I'll repost this, and we'll do more. I'm gonna do a live show. Like I said, I'll have the live show evolve as time goes. I'm looking into StreamYard so that we can stream to multiple platforms, and I'll have it so that we can actually pull up clips while I'm talking about things. That way I can show you what I'm actually talking about. But in the meantime, please carry a gun. If you're in America, go get a gun. If you don't have one, carry it, get proficient with it, go get medical, get a medical kit, get an ankle kit, get a pocket kit, get a chest seal, get Z-gauze, get combat gauze, get anything you can to help others and help yourself. Firearms to help yourself and your loved ones in a self-defense situation. Medical can be helped to help everybody and anybody, right? Like I said, you're more inclined to have to help somebody in a medical situation than you are a self-defense situation. You've got a better chance of winning the lotto than you do having to pull out a gun and use it. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have one. You absolutely should have one, because it is the great equalizer, like I said. But you are more likely to run into a medical situation. So if you don't have training, you don't have any medical training, go get some. Somebody asked earlier, well, what would you do? Like I said, I have medical training. And I always carry a medical kit with me so that if I can help somebody, I will. There's a lot of people that say, like I said, that are scared to help other people because they're judged. They feel judged. They don't want to help other people because, I don't know, they're just scared. Well, that's a bullshit mentality, right? The people that you should be helping the most or wanting to help the most are the people that hate you. The ones that say, I hate that person, I can't stand them, they're of a political party, so I'm just going to hate anyone who's of that political party. Those are the people who you should be wanting to help the most, because not to prove them wrong, but to change their minds. To change their minds. They're not your enemy. They really aren't. They're not your enemy. You want to try and change their minds by showing them that you are on the right side, right? Because a lot of people can say they're on the right side. I'm doing the right thing. I'm the noble one. Well, how do you know if you're the noble one, right? I'm sure Antifa says, well, we're on the right side, right? They're all fascists. They're all pieces of shit. Well, we're going to kill all of them because we disagree with what they're doing and saying. But how do you know if you're on the right side? Well, there's a couple ways that you know, and I won't get too religious, but there might be you know, a manuscript that tells you not to be a piece of shit and has a pretty good outline for not being a piece of shit. So, you know, maybe that might be something that if you haven't read it, you haven't looked into it, maybe you should, because, you know, could help you be a better human being. Again, these people aren't your enemies, right? Your enemies are out there. Everything, remember, foreign and domestic. Yes, of course. But domestic, you want to try, if it's domestic, in other words, to me, domestic means people that are born here, right? So if you're born here and you're becoming a terrorist, you're a domestic terrorist here, okay, well, that's a different story. But if you're foreign and you're coming here and you're still living the foreign mentality, you're not integrating into society, and you're still having that terrorist mentality, that's totally different, right? Those people, you can't change their mind. You can't change their mind, and they should be dealt with accordingly, right? They will be dealt with accordingly by our laws. But the people that are homegrown, that just have a differing opinion, right? They're not actually complete terrorists like some of the people across the world may be. Your goal should not be to wipe them off the face of the planet. Your goal should not be to murder and kill them. Your goal should be to change their minds. That's what your goal should be. To bring them not to your side, but to show them the light, to show them the path. I know it sounds corny, but that's what he was about, right? That's what he was about. Most importantly, that's what he was about. And whether you believe or not, it's irrelevant, right? Because we all have to live in this place together. We all have to live in this world together. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching. I'll be doing a live show every day, 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Maybe we'll do a half hour. I don't know. We'll see as we do more lives. But thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. And yeah, I am the American Latino. Follow my page, like, subscribe. I post every day, a couple times a day. I'm on all the social medias. All the links are in the descriptions. All the links are in my bio. I think I've got a link tree set up. So go visit that. Go follow me. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next video.